All right, welcome back to the latest episode of the Bullpen. Got a pitcher back here this time, which feels right. Sitting down with Jackson Kelley, the closer at Mercer. Um, Everybody knows about Mercer this year. You guys are having a really incredible year. How are you doing today, man? How's the fitting in everything with your schedule? Got finals all knocked out. What's the vibe like?
Oh, it's awesome. This is the dream. You're just playing baseball, not doing anything else.
Yeah, I
Must
just
be
wish the whole
nice.
year
Must
could
be
be like
nice.
that.
Yeah, exactly. I say that every day.
Well, hey, so obviously, started off really hot with Mercer, and a couple of tougher series recently. What's the confidence level for you like right now? You specifically when you get on the bump, as well as in your clubhouse day in day out, because you've been absolutely killing it. I did see a little bit rough outing this weekend, but what's the mentality like, both your individual mentality as well as the teams?
Yeah, I think confidence is one of the biggest things in baseball, obviously. So I go out there every time with the most confidence I can have. I believe if you're not confident, you're not going to perform well. You'll leave pitches down the middle, like the ball won't go where you want it to, things like that. If you have the wrong mentality, so I always try to stay positive and expect that I'm going to do well.
Absolutely. And then I'm not looking at it right now, but what's the rest of y'all's schedule looking like in terms of making a move towards the top of the conference again?
We're tied for second right now with Samford, and then Wofford's on top. We play VMI this weekend at home, and then next weekend is at Samford to finish it up.
And you guys have a conference tournament, right?
We do,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah. What's it been like participating in that conference tournament? Because you've been a Mercer for a couple of years now, right?
Yep, this is my fourth year.
Yeah.
My freshman year, we actually won the tournament. Um, and
What was
then
that feeling like?
oh, it was awesome. There's nothing like it, like dogpiling and celebrating it. It was awesome. It's what we chase every year for sure.
Absolutely. So, this year, obviously, I think kind of a banner year for you, slotting into that closer role. Did you set any specific goals for yourself in the off season? And, having so much success this year, how would you evaluate yourself this year?
That's a tough question. Uh, the thing is like I've done pretty well, but I've given up some runs, and they're just stupid pitches, and they're pitches I wish I could get back. So I know I could have done better, so it's hard to move past that and like look on to the next outing. But uh, yeah, I don't. I always try to just improve my game, and I'm never happy, I guess is what I'm trying
Is
to
there
say.
anything specific you're, in terms of as the season develops, you're translating, the pitches you wish you could take back? Is there anything that you do in the midweek to act specifically on that in terms of, constant improvement that you mentioned?
Yeah, I'm always talking with the pitching coach because he calls their pitches, and just talking about like pitch sequences and things like that. I think that's one of my biggest issues is I've thrown a lot of repetitive pitches, and then so the batter sees it a lot, and then they're able to hit it a long ways. So just talking with them, just talking strategies, and then also just working on my stuff every day.
Speaking of sequencing and stuff, yeah, you got some pretty nasty shit over there. Um, and for multiple slots too, right?
That's right.
When did you first start kind of throwing in multiple slots? Because I know, so a little bit of background about me. I was a left-handed pitcher. I walked on to Georgia Tech, and I remember in high school, since I was a left-handed kid growing up, I only ever could really play first base because I wasn't very fast. So when I would play catch, like with other players or with my dad, I'd always pretend like I was fielding a shortstop and like throw sidearms. So a little bit in my high school career, I dropped down a couple times. For you, was it like a coach or another player or an MLB player that you saw and wanted to model yourself after, or how did that change come about?
Yeah, so I threw over the top pretty much my whole life until about my junior year of high school. and I'm like 6 foot, like 5'11", 6 foot range, and I was only throwing 84, 86 over the top. I was having success, but I wasn't getting any looks from any schools that I thought I should be able to compete at. So I had a coach, and he was like, "Yeah, like in the infield, you can sling it from down low a little bit. Like you should just start playing with it and seeing what you can do, and see if you can get your door in a better school, and then you can work your way up to throw harder and maybe go back to over the top." So yeah, I started my junior year and I threw from both angles my junior and senior year, and then when I got recruited to Mercer, I went straight sidearm because they didn't think that over the top was good, which was right because I was weak, didn't throw hard, it was flat, all that stuff. But I've gotten stronger. I got my velo up a little bit. Now we're working it back in.
Awesome. Speaking of, where did you go to high school? And, do you have any, because I went to school at Georgia Tech, obviously, so I'm a little bit familiar with the, Atlanta area.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd you go to high school ball? And are there any, memories that stand out about, playing in high school, playing travel ball, any players you played with, or, moment you realize kind of like, okay, I can do this, at the next level?
Uh, yeah. So I went to the Walker School. It's a tiny private school in Marietta. It's about 20 minutes from Georgia Tech. I live right around there. Yeah, not the greatest athletic program around. It's mostly academic school. That's what they focus on. But I played at East Cobb too, which is right near there. There's a lot of good players that come out of there.
Yeah.
It's a good program.
Any particular ones that you played with that stand out as like, ones that maybe, I don't know, super funny in the clubhouse, or anything you remember particularly fondly playing with together?
Hmm. Um. Well, the shortstop at I think he's a shortstop at NC State. His name's Gino Groover. He was on my team. Yeah, he was real
Oh,
fun to play with. A great guy.
very cool.
He's
Yeah, NC
killing it right now
State's.
too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah. So back to, so I know you mentioned kind of slinging it from the side and the infield a little bit. Was there a specific point at which you knew you wanted to go to the next level as a pitcher rather than infielder or hitter? And for me, when I transitioned, it was because, okay, well, he can pitch and he can't hit, so let's make him a pitcher. That makes sense.
Yep.
Do you miss playing the infield and hitting, or you kind of comfortable with the role you have now?
I always loved infield and I hated the hit. I would practice hitting all the time and it was still terrible. So, yeah, I still take ground balls in the infield during BP and stuff just for fun, but I don't miss hitting at all.
So growing up, was your favorite player an infielder or a pitcher?
Uh, I don't know who my favorite player growing up was, but right now it's Greg Maddux, definitely. So,
Hmm.
pitcher.
I'd love to see that. Would you say, I mean, I know favorite player versus like modeling yourself after a player is different, but do you consider, you try to model after like the Maddox philosophy of, control and movement first and foremost?
For sure, because I've never been that overpowering fastball guy, which I know he threw hard at the beginning of his career, but he was a master at control and like just how he would throw a ball like maybe two balls off the plate, and the umpire would ball it, so then he'd move it back one ball, and then just see where he could get the strikes from the umpire. It's like it's like the epitome of pitching, I think.
Yeah. I mean, people are quick to jump on the freaks of nature that throw 105, like, Joyce over there, but it's equally as impressive to be able to dot with that much accuracy and pinpoint precision. So I think now I was taking a look at the old stat page. Were you more of a starter last year for Mercer?
I was. I've been a
So
starter my whole life until this year, pretty much.
so what is that? What has that been like this year, transitioning to the pen? And so even coming out of high school and going into Mercer, you started off as a starter your freshman year, or did you take a bullpen role at all?
I was in the bullpen my freshman year. Well, I pitched a little bit at the beginning of the year and then didn't pitch again till the end. And then I started in the conference tournament my freshman year, and then started that summer. Well, I did a little bit of a mix, like a bullpen starter mix, and then I was a starter my sophomore year and junior year.
So what has that transition been like this year, switching to a primary bullpen option? Like, are there things about, pregame routines that you've kept the same, or the things you've changed, and what's the mentality like waiting in the pen versus getting prepped to make a start?
It is a lot different in the mental space, I will say, because like when I would start, the whole day is focused on that start. That's what you're thinking of. That's what you're building up to. But within the bullpen, you can kind of mentally check out until the start of the game, or like sometimes the second, third inning, things like that. I try to stay real loose. Just like hanging out with my teammates and stuff. But as a starter, I was pretty isolated and trying to focus.
Do you have any things you guys like to do during the games? If it's like the starters on cruise control, or you guys are up by a lot of runs. Anything you guys like to do over in the bullpen? Because bullpen guys can be a fun group sometimes.
Yeah, well, we have to stay in the dugout, but we're always screwing around in there doing something, just messing around.
Have you guys ever attempted the perfect sit?
No, what is that?
No, the perfect sit is where you don't get up at all. You don't warm up. You don't go to the bathroom. You do nothing. You just
from first pitch to last pitch. You don't move once.
Oh my gosh, no! But I'm gonna get someone on that.
We want here.
No, I'm gonna get someone on that this next game. We're gonna try that for sure. That's awesome.
Yeah. we'll be looking for it. We'll be looking for it.
Yeah.
Well, hey, yeah, a perfect game. What was it last week with Maryland? So, the only thing, of course, naturally that can follow that is the perfect sit.
That's right.
The only thing that can follow it up. So I want to ask one question, because what value do you place on the information you get in scouting reports? So as a bullpen arm, what percentage of your days are, hey, this specific game, we know you've got the ninth inning, or is it most of the time, hey, if it's 3 runs or less, you're getting the ball? What is that like? And then how do you balance coming in to attack specific hitters, if that's a thing at all?
Yeah. So my role is it can be a long relief, or it can be, 8th and 9th inning. Like I've come in the 5th or 6th and then finished the game. I've come in throwing like 5, 6, 7, and then someone else has finished the game. So it just depends what the score is.
Has there been like a hitter that, not that you've come in against necessarily, but when you look at hitters in your conference as well as the rest of the country, is there like one hitter that in your mind is like, God damn, that's a tough out right now?
Well, last year, Sonny DiChara was in the SoCon, and he is a monster at the plate. I mean, the dude spits on pitches that are barely out, barely down, and then as soon as you leave it over the middle, he hits it a long ways.
Have you faced him personally?
I have. I faced him a lot, actually.
How did
I faced him? I faced him my freshman year in the tournament. I think, or he's a year older, I think, than me. I think he's a grad student. And then I faced him twice, maybe 3 times my junior year, so last year.
Did you get the better of him, or did he get the edge on you in those matchups?
I think,
if you can recall. If not, it's all good.
Yeah. So my freshman year, when I pitched in the tournament, it was against Samford. I went like 6 innings, gave up 1 run, and it was him. He hit a bomb off me in the 6th inning, and then I got pulled. And then last year, I know he hit a double off the wall against me, and I'm not sure what else he did, but the dude's a tough out.
The dude rakes, yeah. I mean, obviously he came a little bit more into the spotlight now playing for an SEC school, but that's awesome that, a lot of these players, there's so many routes you can take to success. You don't have to be a blue chip D1 commit from day one to be able to be successful in the game. But yeah, so do you guys get, what's the information you guys get on other hitters? And is there any specific way that you use it to attack the weaknesses of hitters, or are you more of a, I'm going to stick to, what I know that I execute well?
Yeah, it depends. Our scouting reports are usually, our coach will just pick out if they have one guy that has like 20 jacks or 15, whatever, like Parada and Georgia Tech is one of those guys. And he's like, will give us a like how we're gonna pitch to them and be like, if you're gonna miss out, don't miss down the middle, stuff like that. It's usually just one or two guys, and then for the rest, it's just execute. I personally, I just want to know if they're lefty or righty because I kind of pitch differently with my arm slots to lefties and righties. So that's all I really
Is that something you're okay with, like elaborating on a little bit more, like the different approaches to lefty and righties? Or I don't want to reveal too many trade secrets necessarily.
No, yeah. So part of the reason I started throwing over the top was because I was struggling with lefties from below because they can see it really easily. And I had a real good changeup my sophomore year, and then for some reason I just lost it and I can't throw anymore. So I turned to the over the top stuff to lefties. So it's more over the top to lefties and more sidearm to righties, which that's no secret if you watch any of the games. But yeah, that's how I like to attack them.
Gotcha. I know a lot of pitchers at all levels like have different approaches with their off speed, approaches to different sided hitters. So I appreciate that insight. And then obviously, so you're a junior or senior this year?
I'm a senior in school, junior on the field. Yeah.
Okay. So do you consider yourself, a leader in like the dugout, the clubhouse, when you get on the bump? What's that dynamic like in the Mercer clubhouse? Are there guys that, you still look up to or have looked up to in years past? And now, how do you see yourself fitting within that, the clubhouse culture at Mercer right now?
I mean, I hope people see me as a leader. I don't really know. I try to teach because there's a lot of things that I wish I had known as a freshman or a younger guy that I know now and that I figured out. So I try to, tell some of those younger guys some things like the confidence thing we talked about earlier. If you go out there and you're nervous, you're just wasting your time. It's just you can't pitch when you're nervous unless you just have an overpowering fastball. I guess you can use the adrenaline, but for most people, it's just not going to work. But we had a kid named Sawyer Gibson Long, and he got drafted in like the 6th or 7th round, but he was a junior when I was a freshman. And he's probably my biggest role model. Just his mentality on the mound. He was always like just fierce in the dugout, and you could tell he was locked in and just wanted to go get after somebody.
Yeah, I love that. I appreciate you sharing that. It's awesome to pass on the lessons that you learn to the next next round of underclassmen. Yeah. So now, are you planning on returning back for another year with your last year eligibility?
Yeah, I'm gonna plan to play as long as I can. That's the goal. You only get one chance at it, right?
That's right. That's right. Well, hey, we do a couple of kind of quick pitch style, very, very brief 10-second questions. But Brandon, Eric, do you guys have anything else you wanna get in?
Yeah, I got two questions. One's more of a statement, one's a question. So if you listen to any of our previous episodes, we always do a segment called "Turned On by Statistics." Mm-hmm. And I think I found a good one looking at your stat page here. That if you didn't pitch another inning, you would finish with 69 strikeouts.
Oh yeah,
and I think
nice.
that's pretty sick.
I might be done then.
So it's time to commence the perfect sit for the remainder of the season.
Now you got to do perfect sit for the rest of the 7 games left.
Yep.
And then we have a very loyal Twitter follower who's a real big Mercer fan, and we told him we had an interview surprise for him. And he was like, "Hell yeah, let's go! Who is it?" And we just told him, "Best closer in college baseball. He's got a sick mustache." And he said, "Hell yeah, the Iceman." Is that your nickname around Mercer, or is that?
That is not my nickname. They call me Ice Cold, but for whatever reason, our Twitter's just put like 5 different names for me up there. So
okay,
it's
so
all
not
the
Iceman, but just got ice in the veins, huh?
Yeah, that's right.
I like that. Like an Iceman. That's pretty. Did you ever have like lefty is kind of the default one for southpaws, but did you ever have like a nickname growing up?
Not really. Some people called me JK. It's just my initials, but
sure,
that's about it. Yeah.
Well, that's a good point about the mustache, though, because I think in the other bio pics right from earlier, in your career, it was more clean shaven. Was there anything that grew it out for like a mustache march, and you're like, damn, it looks pretty clean. I'm just gonna keep it. How'd that come about?
I don't know. I've been growing it for 2 years. I've never trimmed it once. It's about all I got. But yeah, I had a goatee last year. It looked terrible. I couldn't really grow hair down here. So then I just shaved that, and I was like, oh, that doesn't look terrible. So I just kept the mustache, and this is what I got now.
Awesome. Awesome. Brennan, you got anything else, man?
No. I mean, I'm good.
All right.
I just really want to know about the mustache.
Yeah. I think that's what everybody wants to know. Iceman's mustache, baby. Okay. Yeah, we'll just finish up here and let you go. Got to get to your tea time. Okay. Road trips. What's the go-to road trip activity? You got a 6-7 hour bus ride. What's Iceman doing in the back of the bus?
Mafia.
That's the second person we've had that said that.
I think it was Nolan.
No. It was Ryan Gardino, Tennessee Tech. Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I guess that's a bigger thing in college baseball than I did it more like summer camps and stuff. But do you prefer to be the Mafia or the civilians?
Either way, I like to get into it. We get pretty heated in the back of the bus.
What is there like? Because I know I've played a game one time and got like my fiance's brother like really pissed off at me because I was kind of like framing him for shit. But is there any like memory that sticks out to you about like somebody just getting completely hoodwinked and then found out about it later?
Oh, I don't know. It's all just a bunch of lying and scamming, and everyone gets pissed off. They're cussing each other out after it, But then you just line up for the next game, do it all over again.
That's awesome. So what is there, has college more just been kind of providing the vehicle to play baseball, or has there been any like favorite class you've taken in college that stands out to you?
I don't know. I'm studying cybersecurity, which is it's really fun, and I like it a lot better than I was in the business school, but I switched over and I like it a lot more. So.
Wow, that's incredible. Well, yeah. Hey, if when baseball does end, I mean, that's awesome. Are you wanting to go, maybe after your baseball career into more of the private sector? Because I know the other boys here, DOD little bitches. So.
Wow.
Not anymore.
Well, anyway, you don't have to talk too much about it, but how do you see that playing out for your future?
So yeah, my dad, he works in cybersecurity for a company called Palo Alto Networks, which is it's out in California, and I probably just get a job there.
Cool. Hey, not a bad backup plan to have, man.
Yeah.
Is coaching on the horizon, or is that?
I don't know. I don't know if the paycheck could do it for me.
Hey.
Yeah, it's definitely not a big one. I'll tell you that much.
No.
All right. I apologize. We'll get back into the rhythm. Okay. If we are able to come see you guys play down in Macon, which, is, it's possible because I go down to Atlanta pretty frequently. What's the food spot that we have to go to pregame?
Oh, there's some good ones. There's a lot of good breweries downtown. So Akamalgi is really good. Piedmont is really good, and the Macon Beer Company one's good too.
Is there any spot locally that you frequent before games, or you mostly stick to clubhouse food?
Before games, it's usually like Subway or something lighter. But after games, Piedmont, I go to Piedmont a lot.
Oh, sweet. Well, we'll have to go there.
Yeah, it's awesome.
All right, two more. Favorite, and this can be, high school, travel ball, whatever. Favorite ballpark you've ever either been to or pitched in?
Yes. This year we went to Utah to play the Utes, and their ballpark was awesome. It was so sweet. Sick. Had the Rockies in the background, and it was a AAA park too. It was awesome.
Do they play? Is that where they typically play? Is that AAA park?
I think so. Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty sure it's their home field.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Yeah, we look at pictures of like Utah, BYU, those kinds of fields, and it's awesome that you guys got to experience that.
It was a great experience.
And okay, last one here. If you've already answered this with Greg Maddox, that's fine. If there was one, past, present, former, major leaguer that you could either play with or like a 10-minute conversation with, who would that be?
Right now it would be either Ryan Thompson on the Rays side armor or Nick Sandlin, who's on the Guardians now, I guess. He was at Southern Miss. He's another side armor. Both of them are nasty. I'd love to talk to them.
Yeah, they got some stuff.
Going off of that one, I'll ask one more. If you could pitch against one player, past, present, who would you want to pitch against?
I think it's got to be Mike Trout. You just
I don't
see
know.
what I could do against the best.
How do you see that one shaking out?
Oh my gosh.
It's not like Brett Phillips last night.
It would not be well. It would not go well. But I
All
don't
the
know.
competitive fire, though.
It would be sweet because I mean you're going against the best. There's nobody better.
Yeah,
than him, so.
There's no downside. It's like if he hits a bomb, it's like, yeah, I'm a college closer.
Yeah.
And if you strike him out, it's like,
Mike
yeah,
Trout.
I struck out Mike Trout. What do you
The greatest
expect?
college closer.
We always joke around that if Mike Trout played for Mercer, he'd have like 70 home runs because we have the smallest ballpark in America. So he would.
I thought
actually
Tennessee
just-
did.
That's what
I
Ole
don't
Miss.
know. I don't know if it gets much smaller than the quad. It's tiny.
Awesome. Well, hey, that's always fun for a pitcher to pitch in.
Yeah.
But yeah, we appreciate the time, man. We'll let you get out of here, get on the road. But thanks so much. We really appreciate it, and we'll, season is wrapping up. We'll be rooting for you guys, coming down the stretch here, and then getting into the conference tournament and the at-large tournament, man.
Yes, sir.
Good to see
Thank
you.
y'all. We
Keep it
appreciate
going,
your
man.
support.
We'll be watching
Absolutely.
for that perfect sit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm gonna get someone on it for sure.
We'll be looking for it. All right. Thanks, Jackson. We appreciate it.
Appreciate it, man.
Thank y'all. Have a good one.